Back then, my parents, through no fault of their own, sort of said, "Oh no, you need to get a proper job, young man. It's a bit too protected."
That's what my dad said, because I got my first job when I was 18 at the BBC in Manchester, but I was only there a few months, and they were getting rid of people. And then after then, I couldn't get into the industry. I couldn't get a paid job, and that's when my dad said, "Oh, Paul, you need a proper job," and that's how I ended up at Asda. And I've got my Facebook page, I'm on loads, I'm on YouTube, I'm on everything, and people do stop me now. Like the other day, a customer stopped me and said, "Do you like being watched, followed and liked?"
And Michael Fish and all these famous BBC.
Yes, no, Michael. Yeah? Because he used to get the weather wrong, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, the support.
I do something. I'm a theatre goer myself, and I absolutely love going there. And I used to go to the pantomime every single year.
Oh no, you didn't.
Oh yes, I did. I was there with them all, and it is so sad.
Welcome to Tommyfield Live, a chance to meet. Let's join the audience now, live from our radio theatre stage. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Spontaneous apathy.
I know.
Lovely. Hello, it's just after 12 on Oldham Community Radio. Well, it's just after 12 in the entire Oldham area, if not further afield. Welcome to Tommyfield Live, a chance to meet. It's Ian Wolstenholme here with you. And as you could probably hear in the background, if you listen very carefully, go on, put your ear to the radio now, you might hear some strange things going on outside. And indeed, if you come into the town centre today, you'll see some strange things happening because it's Festival Oldham. Let me hold up to the camera there, Festival Oldham. Today, from 12 till 4 this afternoon, I don't know, there must be at least 50 acts of one form or another that are going to be happening in and around Oldham. It's a glorious day for it as well, so if you're out and about, then come on down, as somebody used to say. But not for the next hour, because we're going nowhere, because as usual we have a special guest on the radio theatre stage, and I'm delighted to be joined today by, I'm already starting. I've got to be on my toes today because this is a fellow professional. Would you give a warm welcome to, your friend of mine, Paul Rudd.
Hello.
Welcome, Paul.
Hi.
Look at that. I don't see. How much did you pay them, Paul?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I paid them a lot.
Yeah. Well, you're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
You are in the hot seat, as it were, because this programme is all about finding out what makes local characters tick.
Yeah.
And if ever there's a local character, that description certainly fits you.
Am I one of them?
Because wherever you look on social media, you are Sean Crompton's roving reporter and weatherman, aren't you, first of all?
I am indeed.
I mean, we'll talk about that later. But I don't think I've ever met anybody who has a change of outfit for every occasion.
I am.
Because it does seem to be like that. Is that something necessary for the job that you do?
Yes, and I need to throw some clothes out, actually. I've got 3 wardrobes full.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet the charity shops do well out of you when you decide to have a bit of a clear.
They do.
Anyway, we'll come on to the star that is Paul in a little while. But I guess it wasn't always like that. I suppose that you, like most people, were born somewhere. Are you a local lad, as you might say, Paul?
I was born in Salford.
Oh, Salford Smoky Tops.
Yeah, I was born in Salford. I was also adopted. Because my mum sadly lost a baby, and that would have been my brother. And then they adopted me, which I don't know whether was a good thing or a bad thing. And then she found out she was pregnant with my sister, so it just all came about really lovely.
Wow!
Nice,
so
really.
you've got a nice family backstory to that. When did you move from Salford to this neck of the woods, just for interest?
Well, I was already a baby, so my mum got me when I was quite early.
Okay, got you.
So,
right, yeah. School days.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I always, whenever we sort of come on to this little bit, because people are interested to know, what makes this person tick? Where does he come from? What was he like? Is he a super brain? Is he a bit like me, a total numpty? But, whenever we kind of talk about the sort of school days, depending on the guest, they either go, oh, let's move on.
Yeah. I was thinking that myself.
What were your school days like, Paul? You're not getting away that easily.
I really loved school. I wasn't great academic-wise. Like, my maths is absolutely appalling. But I did like English. I loved English.
Yep.
And I loved drama as well. And I think that's where, my weatherman comes into it as well.
Yeah, you see. So everybody's got different talents and different. And I must admit, I would rather like you. I was never good at sums, but not to sort of draw a reference to what's going on in the background. But I did like drums, but not literally. I was quite good at music. So again, people find their own route. Which school did you go to? Sort of.
I went to St George's Primary School to start with, which was a fantastic school, and then I also went to Crompton House.
Crommy House.
Yes.
Just down the road from where they were the posh ones. I went to Royton and Crompton, and the Crompton House was always the sort of the better of the two, wasn't it? How did you go on at secondary school? Did you?
I absolutely loved it and loved all the teachers who looked after me so well, and I still see all the teachers obviously because they're local. Yeah. So they all come in Asda and I still see them today.
You see, you've mentioned those 4 letters. We'll come on to that in a minute. We always ask our guests to choose a handful of musical items that mean something to them.
Yeah.
And told you before the programme, this hour usually flies by, so we'll crack on with your first choice if we can, Paul. I saw Celine Dion there, and I immediately thought of wherever you are on the ship, the Titanic.
It's not that one.
It's not that one.
With Jack and Rose, and then leaving Jack. No, it's not that one.
Tell us about the one that we are going to hear.
All right, this song is Celine Dion and I'm Alive, and I always put this on because whenever I'm feeling down myself, it's like I'm here. I'm still here. I've made it still.
Brilliant.
And this is just a song for everyone else as well. Celine Dion and I'm Alive.
Celine Dion, I'm Alive. And yes, we are all grateful.
Here.
We are all grateful to wake up for another day. I heard something quite recently. Was it the Dalai Lama that sort of wakes up and opens his eyes and just says, I'm alive, and then takes a breath and goes, and to prove it, I'm still breathing. Something like that. It's a very, very philosophical moment.
I think we all do that.
So we all do that, yeah. Our guest on the Radio Theatre stage today, you've just joined us, is Paul Rudd, who is Shaw's Crompton. Now there's a point. Shaw and Crompton. Do people, because you've lived in the area, you'll be able to be the barometer.
I've got to be biased, you see.
Is it like a bit of a mini war of the roses between Shaw and Crompton?
No, I don't think so. I hope it's not. Anyway,
they're relatively mild-mannered.
Yeah.
So you went to school, Crompton House, as you said. What happened thereafter? Did you go on to any sort of higher education or anything like that?
I did. I went to Oldham College and I did media studies there when I was 18 years old.
Right.
That was really, really good, really interesting. It was all behind the scenes, and that got me interested in television. I've always been interested in television my whole life. Always wanted to work in television. And then we had to get our work experience then from from there.
Yeah. Media studies, probably. So, how long ago is that, Paul?
I was 18.
Okay. And do you mind me asking how old you are now?
I'm 42.
Never.
I am
21.
42.
Here's a tip: when somebody says how old are you, just say 21 plus VAT.
Well,
you're all right.
because I work with young ones as well. Everyone thinks I'm young, so when I say I'm 42, they're like, "You're never 42, are you?"
No, you have a boyish face.
Yeah.
So. I mean, even then, I suppose, and I'm just kind of using this in my own life, if you wanted to do something that was not necessarily mainstream, like media studies, for example, I always wanted to do something with music and maybe even this kind of thing. But back then, my parents, through no fault of their own, sort of said, "Oh no, you need to get a proper job, young man. It's a bit too protective."
That's what my dad said.
Did you get that resistance as well?
Because I got my first job when I was 18 at the BBC in Manchester.
Oh, did you?
On Oxford Road.
Yeah.
And I was a script runner, and it was my first proper job, paid job. But I was only there a few months, and they were getting rid of people at the time, so I was first in and then last out.
Oh.
And I was absolutely gutted because it was presented by Gordon Burns and Diane Oxbury,
Wow.
which were, amazing to work for. And I was a script runner, and it was just brilliant. And then after then, I couldn't get into the industry. Yeah, I couldn't get a paid job. I kept doing things for free.
Yeah.
So
It's a difficult thing to get into any kind of media, but especially when you've been in it and then you kind of ousted for no fault of your own, it's even more challenging.
Yeah, and that's when my dad said, "Oh, Paul, you need a proper job," and that's how I ended up at Asda. You see.
But there is no escape from Asda, is there really?
There is.
The old associated dairies. No, there isn't.
I keep mentioning that, don't I?
I mean, you probably like me. How long have you been at Asda in Shaw now?
Oh gosh, I think this is my 18th year this year, because I was at Asda Chatterton before I came to Shaw. So I think you do more for time, don't you?
You do. Yes, it's a life sentence, isn't it, almost? Yeah, but in a nice way. Describe, before we go into your second choice of music, describe to me, if you can, and you'll know having had that amount of time in retail, what the people of Shaw are like.
Oh, well, I can't say much because they are generally nice to me. It's when they actually go in the shop.
Oh, you get the easy job.
Yes,
do you?
yes.
Are you like a greeter? What's your role?
Yeah, well, I did do the greeting, but now I'm on the trolleys outside. I'm a trolley dolly, so I push the trolleys. Yes, so I give the trolleys to customers. So I generally get it easy. It's the guys that are inside that don't.
You must be a star, because every time I go shopping and look for a trolley, I never find one. Find one that's got a token stuck in it, and you can't get it. You always get the dodgy one.
We don't have any then. You need to come. I need to still.
Oh yeah. Well, the present Mrs. Wolstenholme does her shopping at Asda now because she gets the points on these things.
You need to tell her to come to Shaw.
Oh, we will do. I'll make sure she does. Now, we like musicals. We have a great programme on a Friday lunchtime which celebrates the best of local amateur dramatics, professional theatre, you name it.
Yeah.
And your next choice kind of fits in that mould, Paul.
Oh, fantastic.
Everybody's talking about Jamie.
Yeah.
People might not know about this musical. Just tell us a little bit about it and the reason.
I absolutely love it. Everybody's talking about Jamie. It's about a boy, and he wants to go to the prom in a dress. And it's an absolutely fantastic play. And I'm friends with Shobha Gulati, who was in it, and she's been in it for ages now, playing the character Ray. And it's just one of those fantastic musicals which I resonate with, the story of it. And I went to see it recently, and also I got a signed copy of the programme as well, of Shobha. So, yes, and I went to see her at the Lowry as well.
Now, is this Shobha she's been in all sorts of local productions? Has she been in Coronation Street?
Yes, she has.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about Corrie in a minute because you're...
Yes, she was in it twice, but she died the second time.
Oh dear, right.
Unfortunately, sorry, show.
That's right. Well, let's have a listen then to the original West End cast of Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Oh, 12:25 on this Saturday. It's the 1st of June, by the way. We haven't said white rabbits, pinch punch, first of the month.
And it's the meteorological summer today, the start of meteorological summer today.
Well, now that's something that even Gerald Briley didn't know, because that is brilliant. Which I suppose leads us on to mention your interest in the weather.
Oh, definitely.
Now, this isn't just an ordinary Saturday in Oldham. As you can probably hear, there's a little bit of music coming from outside because it's Festival Oldham today.
I know, I didn't know that.
So all sorts of things going on. But they've got a nice day for it. People are always whinging about the weather, aren't they, Paul?
Yeah, there's never a happy medium, is there?
No. I mean, how did you become interested in meteorology? That one.
that one, meteorologist.
Yes.
That the one. Well, I started on a programme called Your Manchester, which is all about Manchester, and I found that on YouTube, and I was really interested in the programme, watched it all the time, started messaging the main presenter of the show, and then one day I saw a post and that they were looking for someone, so I messaged again, and then he messaged me saying, how does a weather presenter, we're looking for a weather presenter, how does that?
Oh, wow.
And I just thought, do you know what, I have to do it.
Had you got any knowledge of the
No,
weather
no.
at that stage? It's just like, I'll make the coffee, yes.
Yeah.
You'll sweep the floor, I'll do it.
I'll do anything, anything to get myself in. No, didn't have a clue, even because I work outside, obviously, at Asda. I never knew what the weather was going to be like because I never watched it. So then the main presenter said, can you do a 45-minute weather report?
45 minutes?
Because that's how much my slot was at first. And it was during COVID, so we couldn't go out. And luckily, I have a big back garden. And my friend came to help me. He got me a tripod and a camera. And I did it, and the rest is to say it's history.
I've just suddenly realised I misheard you. 4 to 5 minutes.
45.
Yeah.
45.
As in 3/4 of an hour? Or
45.
Got you. I'm with you. Irrespective of that.
Not 45, 45.
But,
yeah. Sorry.
But nobody... But even though for somebody who got no knowledge at all, your friends came to your aid and rescue.
So literally I got the weather information. I looked online, at some of the presenters and to see how they did it. And that's how I did it. Because I've always wanted to do it. You see.
Because you're not telling me, and you won't remember names like Bert Ford and Michael Fish and all these famous BBC.
No, Michael. Yeah? Because he used to get the weather wrong, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, they're supposed. I do sometimes. They're not just thrown in at a whim and say, right, give us a weather report. They have training, but you didn't have any of that.
Didn't have any of that.
You learned on the hoof, as you know.
Yeah, and I just learned, and I just watched all the weather presenters on telly, and that's how I did it. Because and now the weather has become part of my life. I'm absolutely passionate about it.
Right, now there'll be days when you get it right, and days when you get it hugely wrong.
Yes, I always get it.
Which is the more success rate at the minute?
Half and half.
Oh, that's a diplomatic answer. Yeah. All right, okay, we'll come down. You've chosen a very appropriate piece, which I suspect is in nod to your weather meteorological interest. The Old Electric Light Orchestra, Mr. Blue Sky. Is that the reason why you've chosen Mr. Blue Sky?
Yes, that's why I chose it, because I thought it would be so appropriate for
it. You've picked it very appropriately for today, because I think it is quite a blue sky, actually.
I know, it keeps coming out, doesn't it, the sun?
Yeah.
The sun will have his hat on this weekend.
And he's coming out to play right now with the Electric Light Orchestra then. Here we go. The Electric Light Orchestra, Mr. Blue Sky. I don't think you can ever get fed up of hearing that very, very classic piece of music. And talking of weather, it being the Festival Oldham today, I noticed that the Cloud Travellers, well, that sounds a bit dodgy, doesn't it? As it says here, the Cloud Travellers are going up and down the streets of the town centre. In Oldham, we're used to the rain, but wishing for sunny skies on festival day. Well, that wish has come true. And there are two clouds, cumulus and nimbus, which will mean something to our guest, I've no doubt today. They're curious puppet characters. Just one of the 50 or so different acts and turns that are taking place in Oldham Town Centre today between now and 4 o'clock. Cumulus and nimbus. Do you know all these meteorological terms, Paul?
I should do, but I don't.
You just blag it.
Yes, I'm learning as I go. Yeah.
So you launched yourself into TV. With the Manchester station there, just by saying, I'll do weather forecast. Don't know anything about it, but I'll learn.
I'll do it.
And you've done it. And then it became a bit more of a local thing, didn't it, with Sean Crompton?
Yes. I stopped doing Your Manchester, and they were fantastic, and I'm still friends with them. I'm in touch with all the presenters there, which is lovely. And yes, I've always wanted to do something for Sean Crompton and give something back to my hometown, but never had the confidence until now. I know it sounds really funny. And then I had really good friends behind me going, you should do it, and that's how it all came about.
And I think we mentioned right at the start of the programme today that with that kind of on-screen or on social media presence, you can't turn up in the same old shirt and shorts every day, can you?
I've got a few outfits.
You've got a few. I mean, today, for the benefit of people who are watching us on Mixcloud, you've got this very nice sort of summery, daffodilly
I've tried,
type.
yes.
Yes.
Flower, sunflower
Sunflower. Right, see, what do I know about horticulture? Very smart. Very smart, there we go.
Yes.
And you said you got all these wardrobes full of clothes. I mean,
I have.
Do you dress for the weather?
I do actually, yes. I've got an array. I've got loads of coats. I've got loads of hats. I've gloves. You name it, shirts. I've got it. Yeah.
So when you're out and about filming the weather forecasts, predictions for show in Crompton, I imagine that because these local communities are just that, very close knit and local, that those people that sort of just walking up and down the street will probably shop at Asda most of the time, or a lot of them will, and they'll go, hang on, is that the same trolley dolly, to use your terminology earlier, Paul? Do you ever get this kind of notoriety?
Yeah, it's lovely now that I'm doing it for my hometown. Lots of people stop me, and because I've got my Facebook page, I'm on loads, I'm on YouTube, I'm on everything, and people do stop me now. Like the other day, a customer stopped me and said, do you like being watched, followed and liked?
Oh.
And I was like, oh. And then she said, because I follow you on Facebook and I watch your weather. And I said, oh yes I do, and I described it, and then she said, she was like, oh, she was just, you're like a real personality, she said to me, do you know what I mean?
I suppose there's always this element of, are people really like they are in real life?
Yes, that's it.
With their versus their on-screen persona kind of thing.
Yeah.
You strike me as you're just an ordinary chap that gets excited and enthused about the weather.
Oh, I do.
I look out the window every morning thinking, oh, blimey, it's chucking it down again. Shall I just go back to bed? Now, so media studies obviously stood you in good stead when you were 18 there, Paul, at Oldham College, and you've done all sorts of other things, haven't you? Planet Pop, Granada Reports, BBC Northwest News as well.
Yeah.
I suppose those kind of media outlets open doors to allow you to know people or meet people.
Yes.
And I'm thinking now particularly of your penchant with the stars of Coronation Street.
Oh yes, well I've got to say I absolutely love Coronation Street. I did watch all the soaps when I was younger, but they take over your life, don't they?
I wouldn't know. I don't. I think the last time I saw Coronation Street, as I mentioned before the start of the programme, was when Eva Sharples got stuck in the train in black and white on the viaduct. But that's a long time ago.
Yeah, you did. And I've met loads of great Corrie faces. And I'm friends with a couple of them as well, which is really, really lovely. And they're behind me as well, with everything I do, which is really nice.
Brilliant. Do you know Julie Hesmond-Holch?
I do know Julie. Yes, because I know Ian as well. We've met a few times at the Oldham Coliseum.
What do you make of that? Because I know people that are interested in sort of the media and amateur drama and things like that. Our good friend David Fielding's just walked into the studio here now, and obviously David is one of our local thespian supporters. Do things like the stories about the Oldham Chronicle and its closure trouble you at all, Paul?
Yes, it does, because I'm a theatre goer myself, and I absolutely love going there. And I used to go to the pantomime every single year.
Oh no, you didn't.
Oh yes, I did. I was there with them all, and it is so sad. It is really, really sad, and that's how I met Sue Devaney through the Oldham Coliseum as well. That's how we became friends, because I went to see her in pantos, and I've been to see her in other shows as well. And it's a real shame. It really is.
You mentioned Sue Devaney,
yes,
which is a timely introduction into your crack. Are we already there? Fourth piece already. Oh, we must crack on. We must crack on. This is a classic. Everybody, you'll be singing along to this one, I know. But funnily enough, only yesterday. And that's another song, isn't it, by the Carpenters? But only yesterday on some social feed, and I don't know where it was, but Dolly Parton came into town. She was sort of chauffeur driven in, got out of the cab, and was walking into a building. Obviously, she was going to either do a show there or something, and she walked past a little girl who'd got a card in front of her saying, "Dolly, help me battle through cancer.
Oh.
And she stopped, Dolly Parton, she stopped and went over to this girl and gave her a hug, and I just thought, oh wow, this is something that you perhaps wouldn't expect these megastars to do.
But that's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really
and you've chosen Dolly.
I have, because Sue is a big Dolly Parton fan. And she also wanted to mention that she loves you all at Oldham Community Radio, and she also loves Barbara as well.
Well, Sue Devaney. Well, Sue, we think you're absolutely fantastic, don't we?
Yeah.
Who's Sue Devaney? No, well, we're only joking.
Oh, and she's a big Dolly Parton fan as well, so that's why I've chosen
so
this
she'll be singing along to this.
Yeah.
And you've asked for the original, the one and only 9 to 5.
Because they all work very hard on Coronation Street. Like me, they work 9 till 5, you see.
Here we go then. We're just a pair of old rabble-rousers, aren't we, really, Alan? Yeah. If you've just tuned in, where have you been? It's Tommyfield Live Chance to Meet. It's Ian Wolstenholme in the delightful company of Paul Rudd, who is Sean Crompton's roving reporter and local weatherman extraordinaire and things like that. You were telling me, Paul, just before Dolly there, that you went to see a play last night.
I did. Well, it wasn't a play, it was a talk. It was a talk, yes. My friend Mark, he's a presenter of Your Manchester, and he did a talk on Roy Barraclough and Les Dawson, you know, the...
Sissy and Ada.
Yes, and it
Who
was...
can forget?
And it was brilliant. It was really packed theatre, and it was really good.
I mean, how long is it now since, well, both Les Dawson and Roy Barraclough have passed? It must be, but they are characters, aren't they? You know, those iconic, over the sort of garden wall type things. We could do this, couldn't we? We could. It'd be quite good. You never know. Yeah, but so you're a supporter of local theatre and everything like that as well, which is always very welcome. I'm sure there are lots of people, especially your friends in Corrieland. I want to just sort of come on to Asda again, because you describe in your little blurb that you sent through, well actually you didn't, I nicked it off Facebook, that your Asda family.
Yeah.
That's a really nice word. And why family?
Because they really look after you. You know, if you've got any type of problems, they're just there for you. You know, and it's a really good community feel as well. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, do you have to? We know you do the trolleys and things like that, but people must ask you all sorts of weird and wonderful questions when they sort of looking for things.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
I mean, is there ever any time that you've ever been sort of, oh, blimey, I don't know the answer to that, I'm stumped here, because as a man of the media, you've got to think on your feet. All the time.
Because I only know where certain things are.
Like, can you tell me where the desiccated coconut is?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a clue. Yeah.
Well, I always be nice and go, I'll just find someone else to come and help you.
See. Yeah.
You know, because I don't know where, I only know where certain things are, and then I go, I work outside. You know, always say sorry, I work outside.
Yeah. And because of that fact that you work outside, you are quite literally out in all weathers.
All kinds of weathers, yes.
I mean, do you ever think, oh, blimey, I wish I could just go in for 5 minutes?
Sometimes I do, but I absolutely love it outside, and it's really funny. I didn't like it because I started like a long time ago, because I was always inside, used to be being inside. So when I did actually get outside, I didn't like it, and I'll always be honest about that. But now I absolutely love my job, and I wouldn't know what to do if anything happened.
It's always interesting, because I remember the very first time my wife and I went to America, to Florida. She used to live there, so we went into Walmart, which is part of the Asda family, the other sort of business side of the family, Asda. And on the front door there, they always have somebody from the community who is either physically challenged or whatever, and they are the kind of greeter, the first person that you see, and they always say, "Good afternoon, ma'am, welcome to Walmart." I want to give us an impression of how Paul Rudd would greet somebody in that kind of thing with Asda.
Well, that's what I do, and I had to go on the microphone and go, "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Asda Show."
So you are the voice of Asda?
Yes, I do.
It's just a radio station. Do they have radio in Asda? They must do.
They do. They have Asda FM. I think it's Asda FM, isn't it? Yeah.
Is there not a job on there for you, do you think? No,
well, people keep saying that I need to go on to sort the music out because apparently it's rubbish. Can I say that it's rubbish music at the minute? Apparently, I've not said that. Other people have said that.
Because all these supermarkets do have these different entertainment strands now.
But no, I have to say they really look after you at Asda, and I just want to say thank you to each and every one of them because they mean so much to me.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's a very appropriate link into the next track from Sister Sledge. In fact, you've dedicated it, if I can get my words out, to the Asda family.
Yes, I have. So can I just say this is to Sharon, Karina, Lindsay, Dawn, Vera, and to everybody else. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
It's Sister Sledge then, and we are family.
Yeah.
We are family. You were trying to clap then, weren't you? Somebody was trying to clap. Oh, we can do a clap. I don't mind. They're just trying to beat the record that they've set, aren't they? I did very well today. It's nice to have the crowd in, by the way. It is like rent a crowd today.
I know it is, isn't it?
Well, Sister Sledge were warbling away there. We were just looking at or reminding ourselves of some old photographs, and I showed you one of me at Radio Cavell all those years ago. And Radio Cavell occupies a special place in your heart as well, doesn't it, Paul?
It definitely does. I did it for 5 years. I had my own show with lots of different people, because people move on and stuff, so I had a lot of great team. And it was fun. It was really good to do.
What do you remember about hospital radio? Because again, part of that still is going to visit people on the wards.
Yeah.
It's meeting and greeting people and trying to cheer them up.
And I think it is. I think it's the patience, because even now, and like going back to Asda again, people come into me and say, "Oh, you played a record for my wife," and it really meant something to them, And to this day, and it's just nice, to be remembered for giving something back.
Absolutely. This is what you want to do. Again, in your little resume, you've put all those things that we've talked about over the last hour. I can't believe where that time has zipped by, as it always does. You want to give something back to the Shaw and Crompton community.
Yeah.
That's me over and out. But you're not over and out just yet. We've got another minute to. We've got another piece of music to
I've
come
got
on
more,
to.
yeah.
There's a bit more to do. So, what do you think? Modern technology allows anybody to kind of jump on the bandwagon when it comes to community reporting. In fact, we've been doing that ourselves here at Oldham Community Radio, looking for community reporters to cover events and things that are happening in their little locality. Is that something that you think we might tempt Paul Rudd to do, to become a community reporter for Oldham Community Radio?
Oh, yes.
There's no money in it. Let's just make that clear now with witnesses.
No, we've got this on here. Yes, I'd absolutely love it. I'd absolutely love to do that.
Okay.
Yes, for you.
Jobs are good, and look out for the name of pod.
Oh, yeah, check the hours first.
Yeah, see if he could possibly fit us in, for goodness sake.
I'm sure I will be.
But I mean, it's exactly the sort of thing that we've been looking for, and what with Debbie and Janet, who are already on board, and all names I can't remember because of my age. It's nice to have these different little people in their different areas, because we can't be in one place all the time, can we?
Yeah.
No.
But no, I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it, definitely.
Phil, make a note. Right.
I'd love to do it.
Okay. It's been great to meet you. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you so much for having
coming
me.
in to Tommyfield Live. Is it back to business as usual on Monday on Asda?
I've actually got another week off. I don't
a
know.
Week? Holidays?
Yeah, I don't know whether they know that. But yeah, I've got another week off, and then it'll be back to normal.
So everybody must be down in the dumps and pretty miserable when they're when you're off.
Oh,
in Asda.
No, because I think it's a bit of quiet. My friends always say, "Paul, it's quiet when you're not in." So I think you have a bit of a rest from me, actually.
It's been a great honour to meet Shaw and Crompton's roving reporter, local weatherman, and the son still
I
shining,
know, yeah,
kind
it's
of.
trying, isn't it? It's trying to come out.
Come on down to Oldham for Festival Oldham today up till 4 o'clock. For the moment, though, we've got a little bit of music for your mum.
Yes, this is one of my mum's favourite songs, and I love her to bits. She means the world to me, and she does everything for me. She really looks after me. And this is for you, Mum. This is Patsy Cline and Crazy. Thank you for having me.
Lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Rudd.
Thank you.
Thank you to our technical wizard who's been pushing all the knobs and switches, Phil Edmonds, today. Stay with us for requests after the news, and then we'll be out and about in Oldham beyond that on Tommyfield Live. From me and Wolstenholme, have a great day.